person who is the ultimate genius of the godless. One is the young master of the Vu god. These two are famous people. In the young, it is normal for both sides to have a little contact. Suddenly, the sword knelt down, then pay homage to the regent and call the master. That's it. The owner of the house was surprised to ask the owner, "What's he saying?" The male Bao fairy is covered in sweat. The others huddled together to ask for the sword. Such an excellent gift. Maybe where is no one knows. In the rankings of the disciples of the great gods. Is first class, totally worth it. On the one hand, he can stay for a very short time. From a new practitioner to the top of the wind. On the other hand, the power that he showed, as far as the long shot, directly forced martial arts scene too. Even the master of the immortals. Everyone is friendly with him. He called the photographer the SAO owner. Here, she patted the shoulder and praised the NDTO sword. You have trained to the golden dragon. Although it has not yet reached the level of invincibility, Kim. But dealing with Gao, normal martial arts is also redundant. Waiting for you to break through. Even if it comes, even people of martial arts. It cannot be equal to you. The sword clasped the bow and the glass landed, if not the owner of the sword. Of course, there won't be today. Aesthetic photographer, the medicinal power of the divine medicine. Make raw extremely powerful, normal people after eating. It takes months to be fully trained. If you eat too much, you will die. But the sword has the blood of the black dragon. It's not like other people. I fed him a holy potion 500 times stronger that he can digest in 10 days. His power does not increase dramatically. She said you and I will meet today. It's something worth celebrating. Get up now. That's how the devil sees them. Silence full of wonder. Hurry to ask. I don't know what the master and the sword are. Photographer replied. In a shimmering sub-world were slave-owner relations. Later, I came under the guidance of God. He's gone to hell, that's all. The owner won't notice. The owner of. When I heard that, I laughed, haha. Of course, I didn't notice. But in my mind, what can I notice? We gather to cheer the gods. So many holy medicines do not say. The most important genius of the universe. There was a slave-owner relationship with the regent. The photographer laughed and said it was good. Monastic master tolerance. But a second later, he turned off his smile. Eyes glowed. When you see, the owner is sitting smiling in a corner. The photographer hurried to get there. I looked at him and thought he was coming back. His anger is terrifying. If you really fight, I'm not sure if I'm his opponent. Suddenly died and rushed to say that he loved the owner. But the photographer hurriedly stopped him saying, don't die. And spoke out unexpectedly this time. Your VI has increased so much. The owner looked over in surprise. I wonder if the two of them know each other. Love this side, the owner replied. The name of the land is not the land. There's a lot of fake power here. The types of counting are not over. If you want to become a great master, you don't have to. It's a difficult thing. If compared to Shaolin Lung, the world is two very different spheres. He said he had a glass of wine in his hand. I asked you if you are a god. The owner squeezed the glass of wine in his hand and glared his eyes. You are not wrong about this. You can see why. The spirit of God speaks. Although for a short period of time, to absorb the soul of the beast to promote the 6th level. But the law is dangerous. If you are a little careless, you'll be betrayed. The whole body died violently. The higher you go, the more dangerous it will be. On the contrary, I want to see it. You can bring the spirit. To what extent do you practice? The owner knows no less. Sorry to make the photographer wonder. And he laughed and said, You and I are enemies, not friends. If you can help me. With the power of two people, we want to hold on to this world. Nothing is difficult. It makes everyone around you wonder. Who is this person? You talk so insolently. It's really extravagant. Photographer bow, the ideal performance path, a lot of situations. You and I have a common enemy. The owner was surprised to ask the enemy, Sao. You just mean the Sao. A mortal of the little spirit, fluttering the world. It is worth mentioning or not. Retort. He said he was very close to me. Love the owner. Say at least now. I don't want to be your enemy. In fact, we have the same enemy. Maybe we can work together. A very angry photographer. Ask the enemy. What do you say on the contrary? He showed his face and looked directly into the photographer's eyes. He said Ra is the Holy Spirit. Hear that? It's got people nearby wondering about this name. I don't know who. The photographer secretly thought in the image of the god Bao. Not say details. Where do you know God from? Maybe he met the king's pursuer. For thousands and thousands of years. Long Ken domain personality who had a breakthrough in martial arts. If you reach that level, you will die. So, no one knows the existence of God. The more one AI can be conscious. The Holy Emperor soon began to cultivate the whole world. And then initially, after we broke through to martial arts. In a time when you don't love the Ganoderma. It took hundreds of years to escape. In this life, we finally have to face God. A fight to the death with him. The owner is freezing for an hour. Then sipping the glass of wine on the hand to enjoy delicious. The photographer asked seriously, How do I know you're not his man? The Lord replied, If I were his man. You are dead, and the photographer is silent. And said I might not make it hard for you. You killed my father-in-law. Working with you is impossible. I just found it strange. Your cultivation VI at SAO promoted so quickly. Now I understand. Maybe you've changed it in some ancient god. Right? Smiling, I want to guess this. The opposite is not difficult. I woke up just over a month ago. How powerful God is, you probably know. You and I shake hands. I'm not sure I can get it 100%. If you fight alone, you can. They die faster. Take a moment and say that, that's not sure. I don't think you can use it. The owner stood up and asked why. Still keeping the wings in my heart. The story of Sao. He took out the white bottle in his hand. Take to the photographer. He took a little wonder and took a breath. It is amazing to realize that the life of Kai Tuin. Love the owner, confirmed not wrong. Life at the end of the universe. Surely you know how to use it. This thing, I can at least prove my intentions. He hurriedly put away the bottle of life and said, Thank you if you gave me this. We don't work together though. But the previous hatred seems to be erased. On the one hand, it is very difficult to understand how to speak, but he turned to whisper. Death Van has a life, Kai Tuin. The music can come back. This word makes you die. Ask the owner again. Give me this. It's not just about removing the threat. What else do you want to do? Love Master softly smile praise intelligent. I want the potion of God's glory. Photographer, ask anyone who knows I have a voice. Holy medicine except for the unholy. What else could it be? But Kier's knitting is too low. It can't be used for me. He asked me frankly. Want the purest medicine? The photographer asked you to know. I will definitely give you something. The Lord promised to make so many holy medicines. In your hands, there must be a God-given void. And split a portion of the potion. It's a small thing for you to say. Of course not. It's okay, you don't want another enemy, do you? I immediately ordered 5 bottles in front of me. On the contrary, it's not that much. It's just that there's a couple of bottles of water. It can also be given to you. The owner quickly put the medicine in. The photographer asked why. You don't look. What I give you is real or fake. He glanced and turned his back and said it wasn't necessary. You are a wise man. I won't do anything stupid. Haha, I came to ask the photographer. Is this person worth trusting? The answer is at least life. What he told me was real. With this, we can save the owner's life. Except that he and I will no longer hold grudges against each other. Death is stupid, he said. But Kwangwi Kai City, they are still under their influence. He said darkness. The current society is not considered a threat. The only threat now is the Holy Spirit. If we let him continue to practice the world of dragons, even if the world is small, or the dragon himself, everyone has to die. The enemy of the enemy is a friend. At least before he died. We love the Lord, and we are on the same line. He said, although I don't know. But it just needs to be your decision. We will all support you. The fisherman was in a hurry to say I was too. Things like Kai Kwan life, God has no God. It's got people nearby messing around and understanding what it is. I love the owner here, haha. This world can now be called sanity. There are only 2 people, you and me alone, before defeating the Holy Emperor. You and I are friends. Wait until he dies and I will win. It is hard to believe that someone is your friend. And then he spoke up. If you decide to win or lose a certain word. The owner glanced over. I see death and stop. The same sword is staring at. He said you were in touch with these people. Waiting for the day of battle can actually be used or SAO. Only rely on yourself. Breaking the shackles of power. Go to the top and share a fight with him. The Lord replied, my thoughts were the same as yours. The 6th generation has reached the limit of heaven. Still lost in his hands. Do you know why? If this word makes the owner wonder, the photographer continues. Because the emperor's followers have 6 god-level beasts. I have thousands of seers each. The VI is all in my intermediate celestial body. There's a lot of support from the occult. After I defeated so many of his followers, waiting to fight him. Soon it was weak. The surprised owner asked, you've also fought him? Confirm not wrong in ancient times, when you and he fight side by side. He still doesn't have a master. But in these long years, he's been in business too long. If you want to deal with him, relying on you and me alone is not enough. The owner glanced and breathed out a breath. I don't blame you, and they brought in all 6 of them. Reportedly not wrong. We're not just not getting everyone involved. I want to help them level up. Break through martial arts into heaven seen. This is the only way to fight the Holy Spirit. Love the owner. I want so many people. All enter the celestial sphere. I'm afraid it's impossible. As the steadfast regent said, in the beginning, God could do it. Of course, we can do it too. Love the owner, turn your head. If you say that, I hope you can succeed. We're not interested in them. If there had been a translation of the godless, we've got to go to the retreat. I hope to see you again next time. Not far from my distance. He said he disappeared. The glass also fell to the ground. At this time, in the thousands of Lai San Ha, Vu Dim called the photographer. Do you know what goddess name is? The photographer replied, I don't know. I know there are 6 of them. Specifically, AI is the transformation of AI too. Even the master himself doesn't know. More on this guy. There's a very demonic gas. Make others afraid. The sword asked the owner. We are in the spirit of God. Even a martial artist has no fear. Just this guy. His strength is unpredictable. We are not rivals. The photographer laughed softly and replied normally. I can't see through him either. Let's not mess with him. Suddenly, someone announced loud, the owner of Bak Hoa, the god of Hoa Thien Nuyet, the master of the mixed primeval spirit of continuous overbearing, the owner of fire god tone inflammation affected. Park Zi appeared with handsome appearance to call the photographer to run out of warmth, hugging Park Trach. I told you higher. And so do you. Suddenly, the guards Nam Chu Trong Tuan together prove to run without breaking. Photographer and Park Trach happily ask everyone how they are. Park Zi laughed and told me to live as well in DTO defense. Nam laughed, haha. We too are strong now. The male Bao fairy appeared surprised. Ask the mayor who they are. In other words, they are all my brothers. Make the Southern Palace fairy startled with sweat. What do you think of these talented young people? They're all super geniuses, famous everywhere of the great cardboard. The mayor has arranged his followers. And every one of them. The photographer is happy to announce. Everybody's gathered together today. You have to celebrate a little. So we all drink. Right after that, the leaders sat together at the round table. The male archer silently thought, the best student of each. They're almost all photographers now. The 6 great gods. They all silently watch the dance body as the head. If I am determined to be an enemy of photography, there is absolutely only one way to die. They'll even bring angels down there. Watch out later. Angel, yin tone, it can only depend on the gods. Many women like that want to be married. We can talk about it independently later. It can only get deeper. The photographer now raises his glass. Welcome to the angel of heaven. The photographer felt very honored. Silly men who think. What an evil guest's voice. Hold the bottle tightly in your hand. Just let him say that. The owner laughed, haha. The customer is here. The boss asked. I don't know now, the angel and the angel. Is there a relationship? In my heart, the angel of heaven organized a party. It's the mayor. Go out and talk later. Smiling photographer, haha. Guest contact owner. Dance god tone and angel tone. Together as a home. Make the overbearing chain appear surprising. He said that of course. It makes the Southern Palace only silent. Arrogantly frown think there is no denying SAO. If that's the case, The root of the universe is very deep. To make others afraid. Even the fire and park trash, the strongest gift of the monk, were all his friends. I don't want to be the 6-year-old. Photographer over here, high voice announcement. I have something to say today, power. A vu then hung thin. Maybe the owners. You'll probably feel that the mayor has a heart. I don't know if the photographer is right. It makes the owners feel like they've been hit by a black heart. Slight is silent. The photographer continued, it is normal to have such thoughts. But the truth is quite the opposite. If the gods really want to claim it, why should I bring so many holy medicines? Give it to the gods. Just let yourself use it silently. Until a few years, it will be the first. Whether the patriarchs deny what the regent says or not. This word makes you breathe a sigh of relief. Then raise your glass and laugh. On the bottom of the mountain. Wearing glasses, holding a glass. My father also raised his glass. Since the arrival of the Holy Spirit. No general God tone. Now, the real power is going up. Great grace of the regent. No general God knows me. I have not forgotten in my whole life. Then everyone laughed out loud, haha. Put your hands down on the table and say, of course, I am not unwitting to help you. Everyone has their own intentions. It's no exception. The owners spoke up. Master, if there's anything we need to do, we will definitely do our best. Others say, the regent has something to tell us. We will definitely repay. The Lord also looked through the question. Here the photographer says, you hear me tell a story. There have been many great gods in this world. They say there's a fake in there. He wants to pursue the highest existence. To become a genie. And then I started to practice the field. At that time, all living beings become their original force. Let him use it. Maybe in the dictionary that the great patriarchs have handed down. Maybe they've all written about this God. This God is called the Holy Spirit. I was surprised to hear that. Ask the Saint Sao. This is just an old legend. As the photographer asked, don't you think the owner feels? He's your ancestor. Trying to trick you or something. Overbearing to say, the Holy Spirit is the standard of our religion. There is indeed a record. About him, inflammatory photos that contribute our apostolic words also have. Others also confirmed. So is our religion. The surprised owner turned to ask. You also have Sao. God is called this God. It really exists in the world. The photographer said I wanted to talk. This God is not a legend. He really does exist. More, the process by which he trained the world for a moment. It doesn't stop. To oppose the Holy Emperor. The other gods. They even built the Angel of the Fatherland to fight back. It has sealed the Holy Spirit. That way we can save a ray of hope. Defeat the Holy Emperor. Overbearing to say, Angel of the Fatherland. It's where our ancestors flew. Only a breakthrough in martial arts. Or the chosen one. They can only go there. The photographer bowed his head to confirm that it was not wrong. In trillions of years, Angel of the Fatherland has not stopped recruiting a lot of fake powers, united to oppose the Holy Emperor. Now, the Angel of the Fatherland has almost collapsed, but the Holy Spirit did not fall. The Holy Spirit is now about to transform the world. The day of death may be near. Just now, you all still don't know anything. The owners turn to each other. Saint Emperor. In legend, there really is Sao. Cultivate the whole Long Can area. How strong is the enemy? I'll tell you more if you still have doubts. Please think of this holy medicine. Except for the earth angel Ra. Is there anywhere else I can find it? The owner was surprised to say so. You are the angel of God. The photographer replied that the owners were all smart people. We can bring many holy medicines. No such benefit. If not, it must be for the survival and death of the Dragon Kingdom. Who's going to do this stupid thing? This word makes you think about it here. 6 questions, photographer. From when he became the angel of the land? I was surprised to ask you when you came. The guests are silent for a few seconds and say that our primate is content. Just follow the orders of the Lord. If the photographer, God has a way of dealing with the Holy Spirit, we'll be willing to exert all of our collective power. The owner also said respectfully, no general God tone, just listen to the Lord's orders. Inflammation photo contribution. My fire god, please listen to me. Regent Master. Then the moon also stood up and said Bakoa. God tone, just listen to the Lord's orders. Make the male bow fairy dumb people look through. Then she also spoke up. My angel does the same. Vietnamese look oversatisfied. Then the statement says, all of you are united. It can definitely be defeated. God has been together through life. Ask the owner. So what should we do next? The photographer said, there's work to be done next. Ladies and gentlemen, please listen carefully. We need the priests to recruit more disciples. The current 6 schools are hundreds, thousands of students, but this is not enough. We need more and more people. We need great teachers. They have to recruit tens of thousands more. Every year, people who have the best in the world. It's all been loaded into the syllabus. The rest are just a few useless receivers. And it doesn't work. The photographer said more. I will give you more. Some top-level techniques. Take it and copy it. Just bring these tools. Just pass it on to the disciples. Except for all the students. They all have to practice some kind of method. It's called the spirit of decision. That makes people wonder. Ask the soul what this is. To cultivate the spirit of the Tao, you can enter the angel of the land. Go into another field. There is another benefit to practicing spiritual determination. It's a very high level of cultivation speed. When the owners heard it, they immediately said respectfully, if that was so, please listen to the owner as order. The photographer clasped his hands to the next speaker. We'll be out of here for a while. During this time period, please all the masters bring the story that I handed over. Quickly arrange well. The owners immediately agreed. Please be quiet. Mind a few days later. The disciples are jostling to record the method that the photographer gave. They admire these techniques. Even stronger, compared to the esoteric secret that we ourselves practice. It's a priceless thing. On the photographic side now, the people they put up the sheets and went out. When people meet, it's a mess. Then ask the photographer, what is this body and soul decision after all? If we can raise the speed of cultivation, why don't we practice? The photographer sighed. You're not fit for the spirit of judgment. The spirit of this decision is our creation. To oppose the Holy Emperor, all the people who practice it will actually speed up the practice. But in the process of cultivation, I will share some of my soul power. I asked in surprise, partial distribution of soul power SAO. This is not slowing down the cultivation speed, or SAO. The photographer explained, these spiritual powers, they can be trained. The spirit compels the determination to absorb. Next, I will bring the spirit to resolve. Give it to you to do. Stupid people who are bewildered continue to talk if, like I told them the truth, they are afraid that they will not dare to practice. To oppose the Holy Emperor, we must bring everyone's power. Focus again. That's how you're able to enter the divine realm. With the fastest speed, it is a scary and powerful law. I asked the photographer, so if tens of thousands of other disciples all cultivate this spirit of resolve, what will it be like in the end? Photographer replied, let's say they're all practicing spiritual discipline. So we practice to the martial arts scene. Maybe it just takes a day. This word horrified them all. When you just need a day. Maybe this kind of formula doesn't have SAO side effects. That's too strong. The photographer explained, the opposite side effects are not mentioned. But the power of the spirit drives determination. Only 35 after 35. The spirit of God. Stop training on our own. They will all slowly spread out. Ask the photographer. You're going to fight the Holy Emperor in 35 years. Confirmation is not wrong. Our time is only 35 at most. This is our only chance. The sword is steady. The sword is content. Follow your master and fight to the death with the Holy Emperor. The dog is sure to say, I am too. People say we are too. The photographer looked at everyone, but think of the massacre of a past life. In my previous life, I could only look at people. One by one die. This life, I will absolutely not let this happen again. Even if it's because everyone has to win. Turning the scene in Quang Wei Kai into smoke and smoke. A desolate scene with bodies sprawling. The raging screams of love from afar. On the city, a man went to speak of the great Epididymis. It is already dark, so go and rest first. Yip asked again, how many more in Quang Wei Kai City? The army responded after a battle that lasted for months. There are just over 300,000 left. The screams of the animals keep echoing. I wear a tight fist and say I love more and more. Some have evolved to the long-term level. Suddenly at this moment, IP Yan appeared flying out. Look at this bird. I know that I am the original master. And he sat on the shoulder and said, about this time, we travel the whole world. There are some places to gather. The human race has been destroyed. 5 animals, super Vietnamese legend. I'm afraid I'll pay attention to Quang Wei Kai City. I'm still paying attention here. The power of space is constantly fluctuating. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. The dress says I feel lately. Things to do near Quang Wei Kai City. Sometimes there's movement. The next attack. It will be stronger than ever. Compared to before. Suppose we all fight to the death. Lord, please be sure. Find a safe place to hide. Wait until death and they come back. Give this key back to them. The kids, this is the last hope of the city. The Lord asked, this is the key to the land of the gods. Quang Wei Kai to SAO, wearing IP verified not wrong. This is the oldest tradition of Quang Wei Kai City. I heard that there is the magic of the snow spirit. At this moment, the sky suddenly rolled up, turned into a tornado. Then a ray of light came out. The animals suddenly go crazy. Screamed and opened his mouth with fiery fangs. The light in the sky shines straight down. Make the birds fly wild. And then a big snake came out laughing. The seal of Zhao Lin Lung. The world is finally open. I've finally waited for this moment. The golden snake opened its mouth wide. It's amazing to the lovers. When they are confused, they are drawn in one direction. Soon they all rush to the snake's throat. It's refreshing to swallow other lovers into the belly. And it's a bright light. Laugh haha, into a strong body. I have not eaten such a good meal in a long time. Now the other animals are coming. The old man's fractious ant disciple. He looked at the large crowd in front of him. But stick out your tongue. Ever since I brought you to the little spirit, the world has passed so many years. I can't believe your VI is still so bad, I said, staring at the cold. Makes the oppressed lovers scream in terror. The red bird hurriedly bowed his head. A few years ago, black prison, long die ca breakthrough to heaven. The sky is falling. A direct lightning god. To break his flesh. Our Da to Vi dare not break through anymore. They can only risk their lives. At first, there was a false power. He's in the shrewd world. He's arranged poultry. All masters in heaven. They were all reduced to ash. The chain of code indicates that this time it is forbidden to suddenly open. I was reluctant to come in here. We've got to get out of here before the lockdown is lifted. So you guys are next. I have to listen to my arrangement. Purple Land long confirmed. We must only obey the orders of our ancestors. Chain code command, I want you. Bringing the people of the whole world. Catch it all back. A person doesn't miss a name. You know the consequences. The animals immediately took orders. Yes, he said, sticking out his tongue. The pot doesn't even go quickly. So the animals hurried off. The dragon just went and asked, "Where are the people still?" The bird replied, "Not expected. The seal of the world has opened again. We're in big trouble this time." It's hard to understand what this means. The bird tells you to think. In the little spirit world, there is no breakthrough to heaven. It is only with our power that we can act. The people of the Dragon Kingdom have not been here. God's love will need us. They can control humanity. I heard that. The dragon was amazed. The bird glanced at your head. If all humanity is dead, do you think God needs us anymore? Or not? Long said. That's why you've been doing this for so many years. They still refuse to destroy the Sao race. Bird confirmed not wrong. Humanity exists. We are worth taking advantage of the old man. If not, don't wait and love God. We can say it. It was directly swallowed by the old man. Geo Long asked anxiously what to do now. The red bird said, "Of course, listen to the old man. Take the rest of the world and find it." I told you two animals rushed to Kwangwi City. I'm standing here in terror, like an avocado. Do you have questions? Let's wear it. The clothed man hurriedly turned to speak. Love the wind. There are two yap to quickly open 10,000 ghost love spirit battle. I heard that and rushed to work. IP where? Now look at the sky and it's coming. So he quickly changed. Longbok merchant monk. A muscular body with muscles rolling. Turned into a white dragon. He screamed loudly. It reminds me to wear a shirt and run away. These two are strong. There's even stronger air in the back. I'm afraid there are thousands of ghosts who love the spirit battle and Bok Long. You are not their opponent either. As IP said firmly Kwang Wei Kai.